Hey guys, Adam here from DirectionTrader.com. Let's do today's mid-morning recap and looking forward video. Pretty good morning in the live trading room. Once again, a little bit quiet, but we're still able to get a couple trades off there and make some pretty good profits in the live trading room this morning. So grateful for the opportunities that we've been getting, even though it's been a little bit slow in there. So the markets are just a little bit slower, but they've actually been moving pretty well from an intraday standpoint, meaning that, I like to trade a lot of pullbacks and retracements. They've had a lot of great opportunities there. So pretty grateful for the opportunities still to come. What do we see on a daily chart moving forward? Let's start here with the Russell. As we see here, we've obviously had this nice chop down, and we've talked so much about these highs and how we've had lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and then we just now had our first higher high basically since February, guys. First higher high basically since February. So we're talking 4 months now, just chopping its way to the downside. We found this support in here, as we talked so much about here over the last 4 months, well, probably 2 months here, because we bought these lows so many times when they came down here. We were looking to buy these lows from an intraday standpoint, and just worked out phenomenally for us. So we got this bounce here off these lows. So now we got this bounce, first higher high we've had in months, and we're getting a pullback here. I'm a big pullback trader, like to trade a lot of fibs, use the moving average and the previous support and resistance in alignment. Here is in the Russell, as you see here, we have come back to this previous swing high. So we have this support and resistance here. We've come back to the 21 period EMA, high percentage EMA that I use, and the 38% fib. So we have previous support and resistance, moving average, and Fibonacci all in the exact same price area. I think that's a very high percentage reversal opportunity. So what I'm looking at here from a shorter term perspective is to see if we can find some support in here from an intraday standpoint and start to get this market to get a little pop back to the upside here. We have the bond selling off, which I'll show you in just a second. Let's see if we can get the market to go ahead and pop on up here. The Russell's been the most active here over the most recent months, as we all know. So let's see if we can start to get the Russell to pop up here. If that can happen, we should see more follow through with the other ones, which I'm going to go into here in just a second. So very important here, guys. This is a checklist that I use on a daily basis in our live trading room here. From an intraday perspective, it also works on swing trading and whenever I trade my my daily charts and so on and so forth. So very, very high percentage opportunity here to the long side. And if it starts to break down here below this 50, below this 1110 area, I do see further downside opportunity coming until it retests down here at this support area. So if we can stay above that 1110, I'm still looking to the long side. If we start to break below that 1110, I do see us falling down further towards them lows. Let's take a quick peek over here at the S&Ps. There's one thing that I want to show here is we've had this nice low to high, this anchor chart we've talked so much about. We just now hit our first target here on the S&Ps. I'm curious how we're going to get this follow through, whether we're going to have a thrust. I'm talking about this thrust to the upside. We're going to have a thrust and a pause. Are we going to have a thrust and a pullback, or are we going to have a thrust and a little bit of a gyration? It's looking like we're going to have opportunity number one here, meaning that we're going to have a thrust, little pause, and typically you'll see a little further through after that. So as long as we continue to stay in this sideways fashion, there's a good chance we're going to go ahead and see further follow through to the upside here. So something just to maybe keep our eye on here. Moving forward in the S&P, if we do get this thrust and pullback, it's going to happen in the next day or two. I'm going to look to see if it's going to test the 8 period first and then the 21 period moving average and this previous high here, as it's going to come down to maybe just above that 1900 level before I find that support. So that's what I see there. NASDAQ's trading right at its resistance still, guys. Kind of that same thrust and sideways pattern as we just went over in the S&P. Here's the Dow, same thrust and sideways pattern as we just now talked about. Crude's a really interesting market here, guys, because we have this resistance here this triple top, if you want to call it, this resistance, and we have these rising supports in here. So we have this ascending wedge, saying that it should go ahead and get some momentum for some further follow through to the upside here. So today we were looking at crude from an intraday perspective. We opened up inside of yesterday's trading range. We're looking to see if we can buy the lows and sell the highs. We didn't get any of that opportunity. Got a little bit quiet today. Some interesting education with sideways channels in the live trading room today, but we weren't able to get any fills on them positions. So now I'm just looking to see what we're going to do. See if we can trade up and get above yesterday's highs moving forward for further upside opportunity. And I'm going to be cautiously bearish below yesterday's lows until we come down and catch this rising support. And on the bonds, finally, we broke. First time we broke here, guys. We've been stair-stepping our way up here for quite some time, being very, very, very technical here with this bond, and we just broke. We broke yesterday. We closed at our support, but today we definitely broke that support here. So if the bonds want to keep on chopping their way to the downside, that should help our S&Ps and our stock index futures and what we were just discussing to the upside. So some really good technical markets right now. A really fun time. Even though it's a little bit slower, it's still a really, really fun time to be trading these markets, especially from an intraday perspective, because we've really been doing well in the live trading room. Some high percentage opportunities. So. Anywho, if you guys have any questions about any of these markets or what I may be looking at or how we're trading these, go ahead and email me, adam@directiontrader.com. If not, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Have a good afternoon.